Spider-Man Far From Home is our first glimpse of the Marvel Universe after Avengers Endgame, the end of an era and a new beginning. There are too many twists in this film to ignore, so while the trailers tease the start of a multiverse, the universe torn apart after Thanos' snap, Mysterio's comic book history as a trickster is faithfully maintained. Sadly, there are no Spider-Verse in the MCU. Yet. While Far From Home didn't waste no time jumping right into the second, within 2 minutes we're back at Midtown High, where the school's news bulletin addresses the snap and its aftermath, specifically how most of their classmates, like Brad, were suddenly 5 years older. From there, Peter and Ned are seen talking about their class trip to Europe, and a short time after, off they went. Thank Peter's lucky stars for Aunt May's packing his suit for an emergency, which came in the form of the Elementals. After Hydro Man strikes in Venice, Peter's vacation is hijacked by Nick Fury, who recruits him along with Mysterio, aka Quentin Beck, to stop them. Right off the bat, the very best thing about this film is Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. If you're familiar with his filmography, you know that he's a phenomenal actor, but Gyllenhaal is on a whole other level with this one. It's like he stepped right out of the pages of a Spiderman comic book and onto the screen, especially in the third act. Complimenting Gyllenhaal is yet another fantastic performance by Tom Holland. Tom Holland manages to elevate both his performance and the character, making Peter that much more sympathetic. The supporting cast did an equally great job, whether you're talking about Jacob Batalon, Zendaya, or Kobe Smulders, Jon Favreau, and Samuel L. Jackson. They were all a fun, welcoming addition to the film, bringing more depth and layers to their characters. Of course, I'd be remiss if I forgot to mention the superb directing by John Watts once again. The action shots in this movie were so incredible, from Mysterio battling mid-flight to Spider-Man leaping and swinging around every foreign city. Regarding the post-credits scenes, all I will say is that they are both great and will indeed have a heavy ramifications on the MCU moving forward. The Tom Holland movies have found a way to talk about the fundamental and recognizable burden of this iconic character in the broader context of the over-expanding and rapidly changing MCU. That puts a lot of responsibility on director John Watts and the rest of the Far From Home creative team to deliver an exciting end to the Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the brand's longest and most ambitious phase yet. After the fundamentally life-changing events of Avengers Endgame, the world has been feverishly looking at this film, wondering what the clues it might contain to Phase 4 and beyond. Luckily, Watts and friends don't panic or succumb to the franchise expectation, nor do they back down from the challenge. You have a fleeting idea of where things are heading by the end of Far From Home, particularly for Peter Parker, but this is a first and foremost an advancement of the fundamental joys of a solo Spider-Man movie, building upon the humor, action, adolescent charms of the 2017 Spider-Man Homecoming in every single way. Peter Parker's personal journey to the beginning of Far From Home has been a little rocky in storytelling execution, but it tracks given the raging biological and physiological, psychological indecisiveness of a shy teenager given extraordinary powers. The Peter Parker of Captain America Civil War and Homecoming was an incredibly eager to run into action and save the day, reckless and unaware of his own limitation. He clearly wasn't ready for world-saving action and had been humbled into the epitome of by the end. Infinity War and Endgame forced him into that sort of action, and he performing so incredibly well in battle. Ultimately, he helped win the war, but lost a lot, including 5 years of his own life and his mentor, Tony Stark. The world badly feels the void that Stark left by his sacrifice. Earth left without a central protector, following the blip, the official term of the timeline issues that Thanos' snap caused in billions of lives. Peter can't escape Tony's image, plastered on billboards and artistic murals in virtually every corner of the world. His guilty conscience leaves him less than eager to fill those enormous shoes, much more content to focus on his attempts to romance MJ, who is played by Zendaya, on his high school international summer field trip. Nick Fury, who was played phenomenally by Samuel L. Jackson, was the one who recruited Tony Stark in the first place, and is not amused by teenage Peter Parker's reluctance to jump into action. He sees Peter as an asset more than a kid, and is almost desperate in his want for a new Iron Man. An intriguing candidate to step up and save the planet arrives in Quentin Beck, Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, a powerful hero from another dimension, here to save our planet from the elementals, creatures made of air, water, fire, and land. Beck becomes another sort of father figure to Peter, suave and confident in every way that Peter can't be right now. The events of Far From Home feels both minor and major in different capacities, while layered with world-building implications of what post-Infinity War world will look like. The script retains a lot of the jokey, intentionally cheesy preteen tone from Homecoming, first and foremost, relying on the dorky charisma of a young cast to tell a simple love story overseas. It's a clever decision to get Spidey out of his NYC element, with the trip doubling as a metaphor for how lost Peter is in his new potential role in the superheroic landscape. The movie sometimes trips over itself to keep the adventurous traveling going, as you wonder why the field trip continues after even the first encounter with murderous supernatural beings, the elementals, but it never stopped being fun. The romantic innocence of the story is handled really well, as Tom Holland and Zendaya beat around the bush without expressing their true feelings. A great example of how young people today try to make connection with each other. Tom Holland is the perfect mix of brains, brawn, and bumbling insecurity. He is the best Spiderman we've ever had and may ever have, because he completely encapsulates every single element of what makes characters so classic. Gyllenhaal, in my opinion, is one of the best actors alive, proves again that why he is so amazing in any capacity, a perfect contrast to Tom Holland's scattered Peter Parker. If you know anything about Mysterio's role in the comics, You will be floored at what the story does with him here. John Watts takes a full advantage of the MCU's possibly permanent vacation from Atlanta soundstages, providing Far From Home with the stunning European vistas you expect from a international road trip. He then proceeds to find thrilling ways to stage an excellent action sequences that utilizes Peter Parker's powers to their full potential. The movie has one or two contenders for the best blockbustery Spider-Man scenes ever put to film, each made more exciting by Michael Giacchino's energetic score. Far From Home straddles the line between major and minor MCU, working well enough at the final chapter and a new beginning for this beloved franchise. As an epilogue to the first 11 years of Marvel Cinematic Universe magic, it provides a welcome tribute to the legacy left behind by the franchise's first star. Tony Stark's impact is felt throughout this film, sometimes in thoroughly shocking and unexpected ways. But the beginning of a new chapter, one where Peter Parker is no longer one of the actual characters defending the Earth, is also a modestly sweet and funny success. Spider-Man Far From Home does something a Spider-Man movie can do to entertain and excite audiences about the next phase of modern movie's greatest ongoing saga. Thank you for watching my review for Spider-Man Far From Home, and I'll see you next time.